Joe? No! No, I'm pregnant!
Ever since the first season of You released on Netflix back in September of 2018, fans have been questioning their love for the psychopathic Joe, who is as lovable as he is scary. And with the twists and turns the series took us through during the runtime of its second season, it's no wonder that its next installment is considered to be one of the most anticipated shows on Netflix. But what do we really know about season 3 of You? Or should we be expecting to see it anytime soon? Well, whether you're a fan of this twisted love story or just want to know more about what to expect in the season to come, stay right where you are, as we're about to explore everything there is to know about season 3 of You. So strap yourselves in and get ready for a bumpy ride, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. The renewal of You. After that twist ending in the season 2 finale, there's no doubt that the showrunner of the series had plans for a third season. And considering just how popular the show has become, it didn't take long for Netflix to make things official. In fact, it was back on January 14th of 2020 that the announcement of the renewal of You was made by the official Twitter account of the show. The caption of the tweet read, "See you soon, neighbor, US3 is coming," which could have a deeper meaning that we will be getting into a little bit later. This renewal of the show took place before the world really changed with the global health situation. We don't doubt that it would have been renewed for a third season regardless, but considering how much difficulty the streaming platform is facing with the release of other flagship titles, the actual release of You Season 3 might take a bit longer than expected. Whilst on the topic, let's take a look at what we can expect to see both Joe and Love stumble into our lives again. Release date of Season 3. As we said earlier, things have changed due to the global health situation, with it causing so much death and destruction in America that many states had to enter into a hard lockdown, forcing people to stay at home and causing the filming industry to come to a complete halt. When the cast and crew were finally able to return to set, things had changed once more, with various regulations and safety precautions being put into place. This meant that every positive test of a crew or cast member caused the entirety of the set to be quarantined. Once more, delaying the filming process and sometimes even bleeding over into post-production. Because of this, streaming giants like Netflix refused to announce release dates in advance anymore, only mentioning when we can expect our favorite shows to release once those shows had wrapped up with filming and post-production. It was found that fans would much rather wait patiently for a release date than have their hopes crushed by constant shifts of the date due to delays. So it shouldn't surprise you to hear that You Season 3 has not yet been given an official release date. There was a fake announcement made online a few weeks ago that stated that the show would actually be returning on April 9th, 2021, but we have to inform you with a heavy heart that this is not in fact true. We know this because the show is actually still in the process of filming. In other words, it's time to exercise the virtue of patience, as it's likely we'll only be able to explore the twisted third season in December of 2021, and if even further delays are expected by the cast and crew, it might even result in a release in early 2022. So let's hope for the best, and expect the worst to avoid any further disappointment. The complicated filming process. Filming for You Season 3 actually began in November of last year, but was then placed on hold due to the global health situation being more prominent in the region. Production did, however, then resume in February, meaning that in total, the show has already been delayed by around 3 months. But Sarah Gamble, who just so happens to be the showrunner of the series, decided to keep fans up to date with how the process was going by releasing an image of the script for episode 10 on her Instagram account, captioning it with the statement, "Getting closer." In other words, it looks like filming may be wrapping up pretty soon, leaving only post-production. And since You isn't exactly heavy on the virtual effects, using many practical effects to get the gritty feel that we're used to, we're thinking that the post-production phase could be completed in next to no time at all. Who knows? Maybe we're wrong by expecting a release in late 2021 or early 2022. It could actually be the case that You returns sometime soon, with both the release date and trailer being announced by Netflix in the days to come. But as we said earlier, let's not get too excited just yet. Just know that it's definitely a possibility. Season 3 cast. Since there is no show without the leading character of Joe Goldberg, expertly portrayed by Gossip Girl's very own Penn Badgley, we can definitely expect him to return to the screen in season 3 of the series. There are still quite a few questions we have about the man after all, and that little glance at his new next-door neighbor said more than a few things about how we should expect the season to advance. We also know that his girlfriend, Love Quinn, played by Victoria Pedretti of The Haunting of Hill House fame, will be making her return to the show in season 3. Since we have only just come to terms with who Love is a person, we still have a lot to learn about her, especially since the majority of what we saw of her in season 2 was nothing more than a lie aimed at manipulating Joe into falling head over heels for her. And since it honestly feels like Love is even more psychotic than the lovable Joe, we just can't wait to see what she has in store for us. There are also a number of other season 2 cast members that could be making an appearance on the show in the 3rd season, including the precocious teenager Ellie Alves, as portrayed by Jenny Ortega, Saffron Burrows as Love's mother, Dottie Quinn, Michael Riley Burke as Love's father, Ray, and Robin Lord Taylor as Will Buttelheim. There is even a possibility that some characters we thought were dead might be returning in the new installment of the show, as everything we see is from Joe's perspective, and we know that he is a less than trustworthy narrator. In other words, he sees what he wants to see and makes us see things as well. Is it possible that Elizabeth Lail will be reprising her role as Beck? We suppose we'll just have to wait and see. There have also been reports of new characters being introduced into the broader You franchise in season 3, with one of them being Shalita Grant, who will be portraying a character named Sherry. Not much is known about Sherry other than the fact that she is a mom influencer who appears to be down to earth but is actually a mean girl in disguise. Travis Van Winkle will also be making his first appearance on the series as Carrie, a wealthy man who invites Joe into his inner circle. Then there's Scott Speedman, who is probably best known for his portrayal of Ben Covington on Felicity. According to reports, Speedman will be bringing the role of Matthew to life, who is apparently a successful CEO and uncommunicative father. The character has also been described as having a reserved nature, which suggests that he may have a few skeletons in his closet that Joe may be interested in. Either way, it's looking as if the fresh talent of You will be taking the show in an even greater direction, only adding to the anticipation that fans are already feeling for season 3. The season 3 plot. Not much has been said about the overall plot of season 3 of the show, especially since series interviews have been few and far between because the series is still in the process of filming. That being said, we expect season 3 to follow the events of the season 2 finale, where we see that Joe and Love have moved in together into a homely residence in the suburbs. The two lovebirds appear to be fitting in pretty nicely, which is precisely what we have come to expect from the resident psychopaths. We also catch a glimpse of Love's belly, which shows that she is ready to pop. In other words, we can expect to see both Joe and Love experience the stress of being parents in the seasons to come. Unless this is nothing more than another manipulation on Love's part, honestly, you never really know with this show. Probably one of the biggest questions about season 3 is the identity of the next-door neighbor that Joe sets his sights on during the closing scene of season 2. He watches as she tans outside while reading a few books, and we see his eyes light up as he realizes that he isn't quite done with his love for the chase. While this mystery woman could very well end up being the mom influencer portrayed by Shalita Grant in the series, fans have been coming up with their own theories regarding her identity, some of which are pretty crazy. The first theory pertains to her actually being Joe's mother, Sandy, as brought to life by Magda Apanowitz in flashbacks from season 2. This would be a pretty interesting development in the story, considering how Joe's abandonment of his mother is what led him to the psychopathic behavior he often displays in the series. By stalking and fixating on a love interest and gaining her approval, he is inadvertently looking for the approval of his mother, which would explain why he isn't happy right now, even after being completely accepted for who he is by Love. If this theory ends up being true, expect season 3 to become pretty Freudian at that. The second theory has to do with Joe being an untrustworthy narrator, and the next-door neighbor turning out to be none other than Beck, as portrayed by the beautiful Elizabeth Lail. Seeing the strange relationship between her, Joe, and Love would be incredibly interesting to watch, with Joe's new fixation clearly causing Love to fall deeper and deeper into her psychopathic tendencies. Either way, we can't wait. But what do you think? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below.